All right, we have a lot of news this morning, and we begin with that police body camera footage we mentioned from Monday's deadly shooting in Kentucky.
That's right. This video shows the moment officers confronted the shooter at Old National Bank, and a warning, some viewers may find the following images distressing. This edited video was released by Louisville's police department. The clip shows two officers approaching the building. Officer Nichols Wilt is then shot in the head. He remains in critical condition in the hospital. The other officer, Corey Galloway, is then seen tumbling to the ground before retreating and taking cover back down the stairs. Reacting to the footage, Louisville's interim police chief paid tribute to her officers.
It shakes the core to know that life was being lost and that a potential additional lives could have been lost. But to sit there with the pride that I had and the respect that came over me for my officers to actually immediately engage that individual and to exchange gunfire and to make every effort and attempt to stop that threat.
All this comes amid growing anger at yet another act of gun violence in America. As the local community mourns the latest victims, the chief medical officer at University of Louisville Health expressed his frustration at the lack of action.
It's more than tired. I'm weary. There's only so many times you can walk into a room and tell someone they're not coming home tomorrow. And it just breaks your heart. When you hear someone screaming, "Mommy," or "Daddy," it just becomes too hard day in and day out to be able to do that. But to everyone who helps make policy, both at state, city, federal, I would simply ask you to do something. Because doing nothing, which is what we've been doing, is not working.
Emotional sentiments from so many in the community. NBC News correspondent Morgan Chesky has the very latest from Louisville.
Yeah, as chilling as these videos are to watch, police say they show officers doing exactly what they're trained to do, run towards the gunman to eliminate the threat. Now, the Louisville Police Department has edited and blurred portions of these videos, but they captured that crucial 4-minute window from the moment police arrived here at Old National Bank to the moment that gunman was fatally shot. And we do want to warn you, some of the video you're about to see is tough to watch. Now, in it, you'll see the arrival of both officers Galloway and Officer Christopher Wilt, who was dispatched to this scene and arrived within just 3 minutes to a hail of gunfire from the gunman that police say was positioned inside a lobby behind reflective glass and a higher vantage point, essentially in a position to ambush the officers upon arrival. And we see the exchange of gunfire. We do know that Officer Wilt was struck in the head. However, Officer Galloway continued to engage the gunman despite being grazed himself until being able to fire from a defensive position and take him down. Important to note here that no one inside the building was shot or even fired upon from the moment police arrived. Now, in light of all of this, there's been discussion on how to reform potential gun laws here in Kentucky. Something that is enraging to local leaders is the fact that this very rifle may be auctioned off instead of being destroyed. That's one of the reasons that the mayor of Louisville is asking for autonomy to create their own gun policy going forward. Meanwhile, the state of Kentucky is considered a Second Amendment sanctuary state because outside of federal law that prohibits someone with a felony conviction of buying a firearm, there are currently no laws on the books that would prohibit someone with a mental disorder or a substance abuse disorder from being able to go out and buy a gun. Meanwhile, in neighboring Tennessee, Republican Governor Bill Lee has just signed an executive order specifically designed to strengthen background checks and red flag laws. We'll send it back to you.
Morgan, thanks so much.
As Louisville comes to terms with this act of violence, a new survey is shining a spotlight on the dramatic impact of gun violence on the United States. NBC News national correspondent Gabe Gutierrez has that report.
As the U.S. reels from yet another rash of shootings, a new survey is out that shows the extent that Americans are dealing with gun violence in their everyday lives.
As a funeral for a shooting victim wrapped up in D.C., gunfire erupted again. One man killed, 3 others hurt. From workplace violence to school shootings, according to a new survey from the Kaiser Family Foundation, a majority of U.S. adults have either personally or had a family member who's been impacted by a gun-related incident. Including suicide, nearly 1 in 5 Americans have lost a family member to gun violence, with people of color disproportionately impacted.
So is this about mental health or is it about easy access to guns?
It's about both of them.
Jackie Rowe Adams lost 2 sons, Anthony and Tyrone, to gun violence. She now runs a support group in Harlem.
When I hear about this constant shooting, it pains me. I hurt so bad because I know another family, another mother, father family is hurting for the loss of their loved one.
As the nationwide debate over access to guns heats up, a day after the mass shooting in Louisville, the city's mayor fumed over a state law that requires confiscated firearms, like the rifle the killer used on Monday, to be resold at auction.
It's time to change this law and let us destroy illegal guns and destroy the guns that have been used to kill our friends and kill our neighbors.
While in Tennessee, Republican Governor Bill Lee today called for stronger background checks for gun purchases.
The executive order will, for one thing, set a 72-hour clock for reporting new criminal activity.
Other states like Maryland, Washington, and Colorado are moving forward with new restrictions as gun rights advocates push back on what they consider unconstitutional overreach.
No amount of gun control is going to stop a criminal hell-bent on murder from gaining some tools to do it.
The Kaiser survey also shows that about a third of adults have avoided large crowds due to the possibility of gun violence. Back to you.
Gabe Gutierrez, thank you. We're following breaking news out of Indiana this morning. Thousands have been ordered to evacuate as a toxic warehouse fire burns out of control. Look at this. This was the scene yesterday when the fire first broke out. It's at a plastics recycling processing facility in the town of Richmond. That's right on the border with Ohio. Plastic and other toxic materials are burning. Thick flumes of black smoke can be seen billowing up into the sky. According to the National Weather Service of Indiana, the smoke was visible on satellite images. Schools in the area, they are closed today under the guidance of Indiana's Emergency Management Agency. The cause of the fire is still unknown, but officials say the fire could burn for days.
And now to Northern Ireland, where President Joe Biden is starting a historic visit to mark the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Agreement, which helped end decades of violent conflict. NBC News White House correspondent Mike Memoli is near the border between Northern Ireland and the Republic of Ireland and joins us now to give a preview of the president's day. Good morning, Mike. So I know President Biden is scheduled to talk in Belfast shortly, and a big part of his talk is going to focus on the Good Friday Agreement, which has been looking a lot more fragile lately. Can you first just talk about this fine line the president has to walk between being supportive of the agreement and overstepping it?
Well, Zinkley, we got a really strong indication of just the tightrope that President Biden is walking, just how sensitive the political situation is in Northern Ireland. In the last hour, as President Biden was sitting down with the British Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak, the president was asked what his message is going to be to the Northern Ireland political leaders who he'll also be meeting with today. His answer was that he's there to listen, not to speak to them. And that really speaks to just the sensitivity of the situation right now. It's interesting, the president, we will hear from him in the next hour. He's scheduled to give remarks at a university campus in Belfast, and that setting is significant because as we are marking the 25th anniversary of the Good Friday Peace Accords, President Biden is going to be speaking directly to a generation that has only known a more peaceful situation, didn't live through the troubles that began in the late 60s through the 1990s. That's really the president's message to the public today, which is that too much has been gained economically, demographically, through the situation because of the Good Friday Agreement, to put it at risk now. Why is it at risk? Well, there are all sorts of economic complications because of the British vote in 2016 to exit the European Union. There has been a new agreement, they call it the Windsor Accord, to try to settle some of those trade disputes, but still there are these lingering tensions, and it's now hoped that rather than a celebration, this 25th anniversary will help be a moment to rescue that agreement.
And I mean, Mike, while we're on the agreement, I know there was an increase in tensions in Northern Ireland ahead of the visit. You touched on it a bit. What's the mood like there today, and where's President Biden headed next?
Yeah, one of the reasons why many of the commentators here are listening to the president's remarks so closely, because there is a fear that just an errant comment, maybe a quick joke, could even further inflame the situation. There has been an increase in tensions. Just over the Easter weekend, we saw marches by paramilitary groups resembling the new IRA throughout Northern Ireland. There was also an attempted murder attempt on a local law enforcement officer. We've seen the members of the different political parties on both sides of the debate showing unity in the weeks and months since then. President Biden has made a point of calling out that unity and saying how important it is at this moment. But that, again, is all the more reason why President Biden is really walking that diplomatic tightrope here today.
Mike Memley, thank you so much.
Turning now to the latest fallout from that classified documents leak as the international community continues to react and U.S. officials scramble to try and control the damage. NBC News Chief Washington correspondent Andrea Mitchell has more.
U.S. officials are scrambling to control the fallout from the disclosure of sensitive intelligence secrets after dozens of classified documents were leaked online. Those leaked documents causing tough conversations between Washington and U.S. allies. On Ukraine, a U.S. intelligence assessment that Ukraine's military will fall well short of retaking most of the territory it's lost to Russia, according to a document obtained by the Washington Post. And a document seen by NBC News revealing Ukrainian agents launched drone attacks against targets in Russia and its ally Belarus, including just outside Moscow, despite promising the U.S. it would not strike Russia. Secretary of State Blinken spoke with Ukraine's foreign minister. Are you concerned about cross-border attacks?
Ukraine has to make decisions about how it can most effectively defend itself against Russian aggression.
Another leaked document says Egypt's President el-Sisi recently ordered 40,000 rockets to be produced for Russia, according to the Washington Post. Egypt denies it. Since Camp David in 1978, Egypt has received more than $50 billion in military aid and $30 billion in economic aid from the U.S., more than any other country in the Middle East except Israel. How could intelligence officials not know sooner about the leaks? Sir, why didn't you know about it before April 6th? That means that they were up for at least many weeks, if not months, before U.S. intelligence knew that they were in the public domain.
They were somewhere in the web, and where exactly and who had access at that point, we don't know.
The Pentagon is now in damage control, limiting the number of people who can see such highly classified documents.
Andrea Mitchell, thank you.
Now let's get a check at your Morning News Now weather forecast.
Yeah, meteorologist Angie Lassman joins us now with more on the heat wave we are currently having. Good morning.
Morning, guys. Yeah, summer is here, ready or not. We're continuing to see temperatures running way warm for this time of year, with many people ending up in the high 80s. Omaha is one of those places. 86 degrees later today. Amarillo also at 86. Still the upper 70s for St. Louis. And as we look down towards Nashville, we'll hit 78 degrees there as well. Washington, D.C. ends up at 83 today. And as we get into tomorrow, these temperatures stick with us. 84 degrees for New York tomorrow. It's going to be a really nice day out there. But again, feeling like summer, and many locations are going to see the potential to break some records. We'll see that potential across more than 10 states. And this takes us into the weekend. Friday, 84 degrees in New York, low 70s by Saturday, still hanging out into the moderate 60s as we get into Sunday to wrap up the weekend. In places like Pittsburgh, will be low 80s to upper 70s. So still really nice, really comfortable conditions if you're looking for some warmth. The issues that we're seeing, though, that come with that lower humidity and those elevated winds are going to be some fire alerts that we have up for more than 63 million people. We have the warm temperatures on top of that. And it does include places like Chicago, Washington, D.C., Boston through the day today. So watching for fire to spread quickly. Not a great day to have any of those outdoor burns. Also, out towards the west, where temperatures are, of course, warm, we're seeing rapid snow melt. This is something that's happening quickly. We're seeing the river flooding continuing to be an issue with the flood watches already up there. And speaking of flooding concerns down through the south, specifically South Florida has had rounds and rounds of heavy rain and flooding concerns for days now. And we have more moisture working on to the Sunshine State. This is going to be problematic for some flooding concerns, and we will see the potential for some flash flooding through the day today and even into tomorrow. Already this morning, we do have a flood watch in effect for places like Miami. It's all thanks to this low pressure system that's bringing bringing more of that moisture onshore. New Orleans, parts of Louisiana, Mississippi, we're going to continue to see that rain through the day today. And as we get into tomorrow, we could see a couple of isolated strong to even severe storms that'll include some damaging winds, maybe an isolated tornado along the east central Gulf. So we'll be keeping a close eye on that. By the time we get into the end of the work week, guys, we'll start to see the rain working through the Carolinas, but it'll quickly exit and we'll be left with some drier conditions for folks there.
I like dry conditions for the weekend.
Yes, I know.
How about the warm conditions?
Yes.
Short sleeves, guys.
But the fire warning, that's what I told people when I was getting dinner last night. I informed everyone around me. I was like, do you know what I learned at work today?
Oh, good.
Last one.
Yes.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.